All right, so today we're diving deep into Netflix.
Oh, Netflix, yeah.
Yeah, but not the, binge watching.
Yeah, right.
We're going behind the scenes at their 2025 shareholder meeting,
Interesting.
where things got pretty interesting.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about shareholder proposals.
Ah,
So these are those moments where investors try to nudge a company in a different direction.
yeah, these proposals, they offer a fascinating look
Yeah.
into how shareholders can actually influence
Mm-hmm.
corporate strategy, especially when it comes to those hot button issues.
Yeah, and we've got two really key examples to unpack today.
Okay.
One tackles the use of AI,
Oh, wow.
specifically how Netflix is using AI to actually create content,
Interesting.
the ethical guidelines they have or maybe don't have,
Right.
and the potential for controversy.
I see.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah?
What happens when your favorite show is written by a bot, right?
That's a good question.
The other proposal goes right into this whole debate about corporate political stances. Should companies stay neutral
Right.
or use their platform to advocate for specific causes?
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll be exploring if Netflix's political engagement is actually hurting its bottom line.
I mean, both of these proposals touch on
Yeah.
really, really timely and complex issues that go way beyond just Netflix.
Absolutely.
You know, we're talking about reflecting broader societal tensions and challenges that companies across all industries are dealing with.
Yeah, so let's start off with that AI proposal.
Okay.
It was brought to the table by Aaron Markowitz, representing the AFL CIO's equity index funds.
Right.
And they're calling for Netflix to be more transparent about how they use AI, particularly when it comes to ethical guidelines.
Now, these shareholder proposals,
Yeah.
they're more like strong suggestions than demands.
Okay.
But Netflix would be wise to pay attention here because ignoring this concern about AI's impact on creative industries could damage their reputation with investors and viewers.
And this proposal gets really specific.
Okay.
It points to a recent controversy
Yeah.
that What Jennifer Did documentary.
All right, yeah.
Viewers were outraged when they found out
Yeah.
that certain scenes were AI generated,
Well,
leading to these accusations of fakery and manipulation.
mhm.
So this ties into the AFL CIO's concern about factual accuracy,
Right.
which is becoming a major issue as AI-generated content gets more sophisticated.
Absolutely. And the proposal also highlights the potential for AI
Yeah.
to actually replace human artists like writers and animators.
Oh, wow.
The AFL CIO is pushing for protections for creators' rights
Yeah.
and wants to make sure that Netflix won't be replacing human creativity with algorithms completely.
So Netflix has a lot to think about here.
Yeah.
What would they actually do to address these concerns?
Hmm.
How do you even make AI development transparent?
Right.
And what about the artists whose jobs might be on the line?
Well, they could look at what companies like Microsoft and Google are doing.
Okay.
They've been developing AI ethics frameworks.
Okay.
These frameworks include things like clear guidelines for data usage, ensuring human oversight,
Yeah.
and investing in programs to retrain workers
Interesting.
whose jobs might be affected by automation.
So instead of avoiding the issue, they could actually become a leader
Yeah.
in responsible AI development.
Right.
That's smart, both ethically and for business.
Absolutely.
Now let's move to the second proposal.
Okay.
This one comes from Ethan Peck.
Mm-hmm.
This one dives into corporate political stances and argues that Netflix's outspokenness is actually hurting them financially.
This proposal really gets into
Yeah.
this debate about the role of corporations in society. You know, traditionally, the duty of a corporation was to maximize shareholder profit.
Right.
But there's this growing movement for corporate social responsibility,
Okay.
where companies are expected to take a stand on social and environmental issues.
Okay, interesting. So Peck argues that Netflix has gone too far
Right.
in embracing these climate sustainability initiatives,
Right.
claiming they're neglecting their financial duty to shareholders.
I see.
He even points to examples of what he sees as Netflix's left-wing actions,
Okay.
arguing that these stances have led to a drop in subscribers
Uh-huh.
and a dip in the stock price.
Now, proving a direct link between political stances and financial performance is tough.
Yeah, for sure.
There are so many factors that influence a company's success.
Right.
But this proposal raises important questions about the risks and rewards of corporate political engagement.
And Peck contrasts Netflix's supposed missteps
Okay.
with the success of Dave Chappelle's special.
Interesting.
which he argues demonstrates that staying neutral is more profitable.
That's interesting, but it's important to remember
Yeah.
that Dave Chappelle's special sparked its own controversy.
Right, of course.
It's a complex issue.
Yeah.
And using one example for a broad argument can be misleading.
So Peck's calling for a deep dive into Netflix's decision-making. He wants them to analyze the risks of taking strong political stances and consider if a more neutral approach might be better for their bottom line.
And this proposal is part of a much larger trend.
Yeah.
We're seeing increased scrutiny of corporate political engagement everywhere.
Right.
With consumers choosing to support or boycott companies based on their values
Absolutely.
and political stances.
So it's like this balancing act for companies.
Yeah.
You know, they need to appeal to everyone
Right.
and avoid alienating anyone. But then they're also expected to, stand up for their beliefs.
Exactly. It's tough.
Even if it ruffles some feathers.
Yeah. So where does Netflix go from here?
Right.
How do they respond to these proposals in a way that satisfies everyone?
Well, and remember, Netflix doesn't have to do anything they say.
Right. They could ignore it all.
Yeah, but ignoring it could cause more problems.
Oh, absolutely.
Backlash from shareholders, or bad press boycotts.
All of that.
So what's the strategic way to do this?
Right.
If Netflix wanted to really take these seriously, what could they do about the AI concerns?
Well, I think transparency would be a good start.
Okay.
What if they released a detailed report outlining their AI usage?
Yeah.
Ethical guidelines, steps they're taking to reduce the risks.
Okay, so it's like showing everyone they're taking it seriously.
Right. It gives investors and viewers a better understanding.
Like behind the scenes,
Exactly.
how it all works.
Yeah.
But what about the jobs?
What are the jobs?
You know, the AFL CIO is worried about AI replacing people.
Well, this is where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
AI is definitely changing the creative world. And some jobs are going to be impacted.
Yeah.
But Netflix could invest in training programs to help their employees adapt.
Yeah.
They could also integrate AI as a tool to enhance creativity instead of replacing it.
I like that. So AI as a collaborator.
Exactly.
Not a replacement.
Yeah, working together.
Okay, let's get back to the politics.
Okay.
This one seems harder to deal with.
Yeah, it is.
How can Netflix please everyone in this climate?
Right. Well, one approach could be to focus on dialogue.
Okay.
Understanding, instead of taking sides, create platforms for conversations, diverse perspectives.
Yeah, instead of preaching, they're listening, creating a space for discussion.
Right. And you have to recognize neutrality isn't always possible.
Right.
Or even a good thing.
Sometimes you have to take a side.
Yeah. And when you do, be transparent about it. Explain why.
Okay.
Acknowledge the complexity.
So it's not avoiding tough talks.
Right.
It's about being nuanced and understanding.
Exactly. And it's not just about shareholders or press.
Right.
It's about trust with viewers. They care about what companies stand for.
Yeah, viewers are more aware now.
Yeah, they're not just passive.
Right, they're making choices.
Exactly.
Based on their values.
And that's powerful.
Yeah.
Informed consumers can drive change.
Okay, so we've looked at these proposals, talked about Netflix's auctions, but let's get to the meeting.
Okay.
Did they actually vote on these things?
Right.
And what happened? Okay, so back to the meeting.
Yeah.
Did Netflix change anything?
Well, their response was a little mixed.
Okay.
Remember, they don't have to follow the proposals.
Right.
But ignoring everything would be a bad look.
So what did they do?
With the AI proposal, they kind of went middle of the road, released a statement saying they care about responsible AI, pointed to some guidelines they have, but not full transparency.
So a step, but not a win.
Yeah. The AFL CIO probably wanted more.
Makes sense. What about the political stance?
That one was more interesting.
Yeah.
They basically rejected it.
Wow.
Said their content shows all kinds of viewpoints.
Yeah.
And they don't shy away from social issues.
Bold move.
Yeah. They even mentioned Dave Chappelle.
Oh, right.
As proof they're not afraid of controversy.
So they're sticking to their guns.
Yeah. Basically saying their job is to make good content. Not avoid certain topics.
Did they address the concerns, though?
About alienating viewers?
Yeah, or the financial part.
They said appealing to everyone is important.
Okay.
But making good content comes first.
Okay.
They also disagreed that their politics hurt them.
Interesting.
Pointed to their numbers as proof.
So they're confident.
Yeah, they think this approach will work.
Okay, enough build-up.
Right.
What happened with the vote?
Both proposals were voted on. The AI one got a decent chunk of votes.
Yeah.
Not enough to pass, but shows investors are thinking about it.
Yeah, the politics one didn't do as well.
No, not really.
So it seems AI is the bigger concern right now.
Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
Says a lot about how things are changing.
So what's the big takeaway here?
I think it's that companies like Netflix are in a tough spot. Pressure from all sides.
Yeah.
Investors, viewer society to deal with all these issues.
It's a lot.
AI, ethics, politics.
Right, and no easy answers.
Exactly.
They're figuring it out as they go.
And making tough choices.
That's going to make some people happy.
Yeah, and some not.
So what should our listeners be thinking about?
Be aware of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Don't just watch.
Right.
Think about the companies you support.
Yeah.
What they stand for.
What they're saying.
Exactly.
You have power as a viewer.
You really do.
To shape the industry.
By making choices that match your values.
Awesome. Well, this has been a really interesting look.
It has.
At shareholder proposals.
Yeah.
And the challenges for companies like Netflix.
Absolutely.
We saw how investors can push for change.
Yeah.
Make these companies think about their responsibilities.
It's a changing world.
And viewers have more power than ever.
Absolutely.
So thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
And to our listener, keep exploring and keep questioning.
And keep watching.
Until next time.